So in previous videos or classes, we have discussed how we can effectively utilize not null constraint, how we can implement a unique constraint and primary key constraint. In today's class, we will be discussing how we can use check constraint. So this is the fourth constraint we are discussing in today's session. Sometimes what happens while inserting a record, we need to check the value before it inserts into a table. Suppose if the value is between the range, then it has to accept the value. Otherwise, it should not accept those values. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ನನ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನಾವು ಟೇಬಲ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. But while inserting the records into the table, first I need to check the value range. For example, assume that I'm going to store student marks. There is a minimum marks and a maximum marks available for the student. Whatever the marks value I'm going to insert, it must lie between minimum and maximum range. I should not allocate the value which is out of range. Assume that minimum marks is 0, I can allocate for a student, and the maximum marks is 100. In this case, I cannot store the marks which is more than 100, isn't it? And even I cannot allocate the marks which is in the negative, because as the marks minimum marks is 0, I can allocate a minimum marks as a 0 and maximum 100, or else in between the range I can specify the value. But what happens, we are human beings, we normally commit the mistakes while data entry. So in this case, if I implement a check constraint on such columns, what happens? It will restrict the error entries. It will restrict the value which is lying out of range. So let me explain with an example now. Assume that we are going to create a student marks table here. So how to create a table for student marks? Already you know that we have to use a create a table command. Create table student marks. Now we have to specify the column definitions one by one. For that, we need to open the parenthesis. Now assume that I'm going to create role as a first column name. As you can see here, I'm specifying role as a column name. Number is the data type. That means this column is accepting a numeric value. And what is the size of the roll number column? It is 3. That means what? Maximum 3 digits I can store here. And I'm going to define this role as a primary key. Already I have explained what is the use of a primary key. That means what? Roll number, it will not accept duplicate values and it will not accept null values. So that is the use of a primary key. So next column I want to define as a marks. Number 3, that means marks is the column name and I can store a number value in the marks column. And the maximum 3 digits value we can store in marks. And after this, I want to define one more column, that is yes name, indicating a student name, which is storing a variable length of a characters, because every student is not having a similar length of characters. So that's why I'm going to consider the data type as varchar here. And 50 is the maximum size I'm allocating for storing student name. And after this, now I want to implement what? Check a constraint for marks. Nodri, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, so that I can allocate the marks between 0 and 100. So ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನೀಗ? I am going to use a table level constraint for implementing check constraint now. So already I have explained how we can implement table level constraint. We have to use a constraint keyword. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಳಿನಿ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. We have to use a constraint keyword. After using a constraint keyword, we have to specify the name for the constraint. After this, we have to use a check keyword. ಹೌದಾ? Check keyword ಆದ ನಂತರ within a parenthesis, we need to specify for which column I want to define check constraint. So here in this case, I want to define check constraint for marks column, because while inserting a value for a marks column, it has to check the value whether it is between 0 and 100. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು, I am mentioning the range here. Marks ಅನ್ನೋದೇನೈತಲ್ಲ, this is column name. I am implementing a check constraint for marks column. Marks column na ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ define ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿನಿ already. Here I have defined what is marks column, right? For this marks column, now I want to implement what constraint, that is check constraint. So now this marks should be between 0 and 100. That means what? Whatever the value I am going to insert for marks column, it must be in between 0 and 100. So how to specify the range? We have to use between keyword. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Marks is the column name. So now between keyword we have to use. This is the minimum value I need to specify, and I have to use the and keyword here, and later on I need to specify maximum value. So in this case, what happens? It will store the marks value between 0 and 100. Between 0 and 100 I can store the values. So ಇದಾದ ನಂತರ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕಾಲಮ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, and I'm going to terminate the statement by using what? Semicolon. So in this case, what happens? It is going to create a student marks table like this. So actually this should be a student marks table. It is wrongly printed here. So it will create a column like roll number, marks, and yes name. Suppose if I try to include the first value here, as you can see, this is the first value, and you can observe nowhere I am going to insert duplicate values here, because roll has been defined as a primary key. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am storing what? Unique values, and nowhere I am not storing any null values here. So because that is the indication of a primary key, it will not accept null values and it will not accept duplicate values. After this, for marks column, I am going to insert certain values here. And for student name, I'm going to insert student names here. As you can see, these are the student names. Look at the marks column now. I have implemented a check constraint for marks column, and the range I have specified is minimum 0 and maximum 100. Whatever the value I'm going to insert here, these values must be between these range. So if I store 100, yes, of course it is lying in this particular range and it will accept it. Now look at the second record here, -2 I am trying to insert, which is nothing but out of range. So in this case, it will not include this particular record. And if I try to store a 0, so 0 is lying in between the range. As you can see here, minimum value I can assign for marks is 0. It is acceptable. It will insert this record. And if you observe 101, which is out of range here, so because the maximum I can allocate is 100, so but here I am trying to store 101, so it will not include this record. Similarly, the last one, that is 76, which is in between the range, and it will accept it. And it will accept the last record. So this is how the check constraint is going to work. As you can see, it will insert the first record, third record, and fifth record, but not the second one and fourth one, because these two values are out of range. It will not accept such records which are having out of range value for marks column. So this is how check constraint is going to work. So now let me show you with a demonstration directly by creating a student table here. Now let me quickly create a table structure. Create table st underscore marks for student marks. Press enter, open the parenthesis, give some space here. Let me enter roll as a column name, number as a data type, 3 as a size, and let me specify primary key constraint for roll number. Put a comma because I want to define a student name, yes name, varchar. Let me specify size as a 30, and student name should be not null because student must have a name. And the last one, assume that I'm going to store marks here, and obviously marks is a number because I can store number value here, and a maximum 3 digits I can store. Now you can see here, now I'm going to enter the constraint now. So we have to use a constraint keyword, constraint. I can specify name for the constraint, assume that I'm going to specify st marks underscore check constraint. Okay, after this I'm going to specify check keyword. After this, within a parenthesis, I must specify which column I want to define, for which column I want to define check constraint. So for marks column, I want to define a check constraint. The value should be between 0 and 100. That I need to specify now. So for that, I need to use between keyword, check marks between 0 and 100. Close the parenthesis, press enter, close the table definition, terminate the statement by using a semicolon. So now let me zoom in so that you can clearly see what I have written here. As you can see, create table I have used here. st underscore marks is the table name. Roll is the column name here. Number is data type with size 3. Primary key constraint I have defined for roll number. Yes name is the another column name. Varchar is the size 30. Sorry, varchar is the data type. 30 is the size, and a not null constraint I want to define for yes name. Similarly, I want to define a marks column, and I'm going to consider data type as number and size as 3. So here, if you observe, I'm going to implement a table level constraint here for marks. For that, I have used a constraint keyword. This is the name I'm going to specify for constraint. As you can see here, st underscore marks underscore check. Okay, and after this, check keyword we have to use. And within a parenthesis, I need to specify for which column I want to define check constraint. So here for marks column, I want to define check constraint, and this range should be between 0 and 100. So like this, we need to implement what check constraint. Now let me execute this. So table created successfully. Now let us try to insert the values now. So already we have discussed how we can insert values. So insert into st underscore marks because it is the table name. For this table name, I want to insert values for roll, comma, yes name, comma, marks. And for these columns, now I want to insert values. So roll, it is a number. So directly let me provide 1 as a number now. And the next one is I need to enter student name. Assume that I want to specify student name as Ajay. And next I need to enter marks. So again, it is a number. So let me enter the number as 100. So that means what? Ajay has secured 100 marks. Okay. So now close the parenthesis and include a semicolon. As you can see here, I'm going to write the statement like this. Insert into keywords we have used. st underscore marks is the table name. Here I need to specify column names, for which columns I want to insert the values. Role, yes name, marks. So how to specify the values here? By using a values keyword that I have used here. And first I need to specify roll number. So that's why here I'm going to specify roll number as 1. As you can see here, roll and marks are numbers, so no need to use a single quotations. But for varchar, I must specify single quotations. So for yes name, which is nothing but a varchar data type, I need to specify the value within a single quotation. So that's why I have used the single quotations to specify Ajay as a value. And after this, for marks, I have entered 100. In this case, what happens? It will check this value 100 and it will check the range whether this 100 is lying between this range or what. Of course, 100 is lying between 0 and 100. So it will insert this particular record. Let us see what happens. So it has successfully inserted the record. So similarly, let me try to insert the next record for which I want to insert the value which is out of range. So let me copy the same statement, but instead of a roll number 1, now let me specify roll number 2, comma, let me specify student name as Amar and marks as 101. Close the parenthesis, semicolon. So now while inserting the second record, now you can observe here, I'm trying to insert second record for student marks table. As you can see, I'm going to mention roll number as a 2 because already we have included roll number 1 here. The same value I cannot insert because roll number has been defined as a primary key. That means it will not accept duplicate values. So I am going to specify a new value for roll number, that is 2. And for student name, I cannot leave a null value here. So I can specify a different value for student name. So in this case, I'm going to store Amar as a value. And if you observe here, for marks column, I'm going to specify value as 101. So in this case, this 101 value is not lying in between this range. As you can see here, I'm going to specify the check constraint for marks column here, and the minimum I can store is 0 and the maximum I can store is 100 here. But this 101 value is out of range, which is out of range. In this case, it should not accept. Okay, because the maximum marks I can allocate is just 100. Okay, so now let us see what it is going to display. Obviously, according to me, it has to generate a error. So let us see. Yes, obviously, it will generate error saying that error line number 1. Error at line number 1. So that is check constraint violated. As you can see here, it is showing a message saying that check constraint violated for marks. So if I store the value in between the range, then only it will accept. Otherwise, it will not accept the value. So this is what the simple procedure for check constraint. Even though if I specify a negative number, so minimum value is what? 0, isn't it? Suppose if I try to insert a negative value, then also it will not accept. Now let me insert a negative value. Assume that minus 12 I am going to insert here. Close the parenthesis. You can see here I have copied the same statement, but in this case I am going to store what? Negative value. Okay. So now obviously it should not store those values because even minus number is also what? Out of range. So now let me execute the statement. As you can see here, it is showing again check constraint violated, isn't it? So we are getting what? Check constraint violated message. So if I store the values between the range, then it will accept. So now let me specify the value, different value, assume that 75. Obviously 75 is lying between the range 0 and 100. So now it will insert this particular record. As you can see here, now it is showing one row created message. So that means what? We have successfully stored the second record, that is Amar's record. You can see the records by executing select star from st marks. Okay, so you can see here whatever the records we have inserted, it is displaying those records. Okay, so hope you have understood the check constraint. So now let us see what is the use of a default constraint. Sometimes what happens, we are trying to store null values, but instead of a null value, it should display some default values. For example, assume that I'm going to create a supplier table by using a create table supplier statement. I'm going to create a first column as a supplier ID with a numeric value, and not null constraint I'm going to define for supplier ID. And for supplier name, you can see here I'm going to define a default constraint for supplier name. How to specify the default constraint? You can see here I'm going to use a default keyword, and after this we need to specify what? Value. Assume that for supplier name, suppose I'm going to store null values. But instead of storing a null value, it will store this default value. In this case, it will store this default value. So let me show you how it will insert. And contact name, I'm going to define as a last column, and I'm going to close this statement by using what? Semicolon. So it will create a supplier table like this. And as you can see here, I'm trying to store what? A null value in a supplier name. But in this case, what it has to store? It has to store no name as a value in a supplier name. As you can see, for a second record, I'm going to store what? Null. So in this case, I'm trying to store null value. But for supplier name, I have used default constraint. Whenever user tries to store null values, instead of storing a null value, it should store the default value which I have assigned while creating a table structure. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ನಾನು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿನಿ, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾನು ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ SQL ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ನೋ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ವೆನೆವರ್ ವಿ fetch the records, instead of displaying a null value, it will display what? No name in null place. So this is how default constraint is going to work. So now let us see the demonstration how it is going to store a null value. So now let me clear the screen, and let us see what are the tables we have created. Select star from tab. Okay, already we have created supplier table here. Let me create a table with SUP indicating supplier, another table. Okay, so create a table SUP, open the parenthesis, SID, I'm going to consider it as a number with 3 size, and I'm going to define this one as a primary key, and yes name varchar2, let me specify size as 30. I'm going to define default constraint for this. default no name. So single quotation, within a single quotation, I need to specify the value because I'm going to consider data type for yes name is varchar. So now I'm going to consider only these two columns. Now close the table structure and enter the end the statement by using a semicolon. So now you can go through the statement what I have written here. So now you can see I'm going to define SUP table here because already we have created supplier table. The same name I cannot specify here because SQL will not allow you to create duplicate objects, okay, with the same name. So that's why I'm going to change the name as a SUP here. And I'm going to create only two columns. As you can see, SID and YesName columns I have defined here. SID I want to define as a primary key so that I cannot insert null values and also I cannot insert duplicate values. And if you observe, I have defined a number as a data type for SID and maximum 3 digits number I can store in SID. And similarly for YesName, I'm going to define data type as a varchar and 30 size I'm going to define. And if you observe here, I'm going to define default constraint for YesName. I'm going to use what default keyword here. And here I can specify the value. If you observe, I'm going to use a single quotation to specify the value because YesName is going to hold what? Characters. So that's why while specifying values for character, varchar and date, we should use single quotations. Within a single quotation, so we should specify the value. But while providing value for number, directly I can specify the value. No need to include single quotations. Okay, so this you need to remember. So in this case, what happens? Now let me create a table. Now let me press enter. So you can see a message saying that table created. So now let me quickly add the records within this table. So insert into SUP because table name is what? SUP. So now first column is SID and the second column is YesName. So now I'm going to specify the values for that. Use values keyword. So now I'm going to specify SID value. Assume that 100. So put a comma. Now I need to specify what? YesName. Let me specify Ajay Enterprises. Ajay Enterprises. So single quotation complete and close the parenthesis, semicolon. As you can see here, what I have written, I have used insert into keyword. SUP is the table name. SID and YesName are the column names and values keyword. And 100 is the value for SID. Ajay Enterprises is the value for YesName. So now if I try to execute this statement, then it will create a record. As you can see, the message one row created. Assume that now I'm going to store only SID value. I don't want to store value for YesName. So now insert into SUP. Now what I will do, I will try to insert a value for only SID. Values. Now let me specify 101. That's it. So in this case, you can observe here, I'm going to write a statement like this. Insert into SUP. I'm going to specify the column name as SID, and for this column name, I want to insert a value. So values keyword we have to use and 101 because already we have stored 100 here, and for next record, I want to store 101. If you observe, I'm not storing a value for YesName. So in this case, what it has to store? It has to store a blank value in place of YesName. So now let us see what happens. So now press enter. So one row created. Let us see the records select star from SUP. This is the statement to retrieve the records present in the table. Now press enter. You can see here for the first record, it is displaying 100 and Ajay Enterprises correctly. And for the second record, we have not included value for yes name. Suppose it should be a null value, but what it is displaying? It is displaying no name. This is the default value we have specified for the yes name. Default value it will include whenever we try to store null in that particular position. But instead it will not store the null value, but it will include a default value. That's it. So this is how default constraint is going to work. Hope you have understood.